Hello everyone, now we are going to solve the questions based on longitudinal and transverse vibration of the shaft. A cantilever shaft 50 mm diameter and 300 mm long has a disc of mass 100 kg at its free end. See, the cantilever shaft is given and having the diameter 50 mm and the 300 mm long. Okay, the disc is attached with the cantilever at its free end. So if you draw the diagram, it would be like that. So this is our shaft having the diameter, and the rotor is attached at the end of the shaft like that, because in the cantilever one end of the shaft is fixed at here and the other end there is a rotor having mass m. Okay, so now first we are calculating the longitudinal frequency. So we are discussing longitudinal vibrations first. Longitudinal vibration. In the next part, we will discuss transverse vibrations. So, in case of longitudinal vibration, if you want to determine the frequency of the longitudinal vibrations, would be omega n is equal to s upon m. So, what is s here? That is important because m is the mass of the rotor, nothing else. But what is s? S is generally known as longitudinal stiffness. In case of torsional vibrations, it is transverse vibrations. It is transverse stiffness, and in case of longitudinal vibration, it is longitudinal stiffness denoted as S. So it would be equal to AE upon L, because this is a longitudinal vibrations. The vibration is taking place along the length of the shaft, so that's why it is longitudinal vibration. So what is A? A is the area of the, because this is the stiffness of the shaft, so that's why area is considered for the shaft, and E is the Young's modulus of the shaft material, and the length of the shaft is L. So we will calculate one by one. The area is pi by 4 d square, and what is the value of diameter is given in the question. Pi by 4 d square is basically, this would be 0.05 whole square. In meter, I'm going to put the value of diameter. So in order to calculate the area in meters, so when you solve this, you will get the value of area that would comes out to be 1.96 multiplied 10 to the power minus 3. Okay, and what is the value of E? E is given, that is 200 giganewton per meter square. That means you can convert it into, you just have to remove this giga and multiply with 10 to the power 9. Okay, newton per meter square, and this is also meter square, and length is given in the question, length that is 0.3 meter. So when you put all these value in the formula of longitudinal stiffness, you can calculate the value of S. So S would be 1.96 multiplied 10 to the power minus 3, and Young's modulus is 200 multiplied 10 to the power 9. Remember that all these values would be in meter or in the same unit, whether it is in meter, whether it is in mm, all must be in same unit, 0.3. So when you solve this, you will get the longitudinal stiffness. So I'm just solving these equations. So it would comes out to be 1.30 multiply 10 to the power 9. Okay, the unit is Newton per meter. You just have to put this value in these equations. So omega n would be equal to under root of 1.3 multiply 10 to the power 9 upon 100. This is the mass of the rotor. So when you solve this, you will get the value of natural frequency of longitudinal vibrations, and that would comes out to be 3614.78 radian per second. Okay, so if you want to calculate the frequency in hertz, so it would be omega n upon 2 pi. Okay, so that means 3614.78 upon 2 pi. So you will get here the value 575.3, but it is in hertz. Okay, so this is the frequency of the longitudinal vibration in radian per second as well as in hertz. Okay, now we are going to solve the next part, that is the transverse vibrations. We have to calculate the frequency of transverse vibration of the shaft. So the next part, this is transverse vibrations. So we have to draw the arrangement. This would be like that. This is the shaft, and at this shaft there is a rotor which is attached at the end of this shaft like that. Okay, and having a mass m. So it would be the cantilever. You know that in the strength of material you study the cantilever shaft. That means at the end of the cantilever there is a mass which is going to be attached. So if you want to find out the frequency, that would be under root of S by M. We know that S by M, but it is also equal to G by delta. Okay, it is also equal to G by delta because we have seen in the Rayleigh method omega n is equal to G by delta also. So what is the value of delta? We can calculate easy. Why we are putting this value like that? Because it is easy to calculate here the value of deflections of the shaft. It would be like that. So deflections would be WL cube upon 3EI because it is a cantilever. So what is the W? W is nothing but the weight of the rotor, and that is mgl cube upon 3EI. Okay, so what is the m value is I think 100 is given, and G is 9.81, 109.81, and length is 300 mm, so it would be 0.3 all cube upon 3. What is the value of E? This is 200 multiplied 10 to the power 9. 200 multiplied 10 to the power 9 multiply. Now this is the shaft, and for the shaft the moment of inertia is pi by 64, pi by 64 d4. Diameter is 0.05 power 4. Okay, so you just have to solve this. So it would comes out to be 1.438 multiplied 10 to the power minus 4. Remember, this is in meter, not in mm. This is in meter. So we just have to put this value in these equations, and this is in meter, so it would be 9.81 also. If you consider delta in mm, then you must have to put the value of G in mm also. That is 1.438 multiplied 10 to the power minus 4. So it would be 261.1. This is in radian per second. Radian per second. But when you solve this in terms of frequency in hertz, that would comes out to be 41.55 hertz. Okay, so that is the answer. Now you are able to understand how to solve the questions on the transverse vibration and how to solve the questions on longitudinal vibrations. The basic difference is that in between longitudinal and transverse. In the longitudinal vibration, you must have to know what is the longitudinal stiffness, that is equal to AE upon L. Okay, you just have to put values in this formula and you will get the value of the stiffness. Now you just have to know how to find out the frequency. But in case of transverse vibration, either examiner will give you the stiffness of the transverse vibration. If the examiner didn't give you the stiffness of the transverse vibrations, then you have to use this formula in order to calculate the natural frequency. However, you can also calculate by it is equal to root of S by A. But here S is the stiffness of the transverse vibration. But There is no formula for the stiffness of the transverse vibrations like longitudinal stiffness. So that's why we are going to apply the formula under root of G by delta. Either you can solve natural frequency using under root of G by delta formula or under root of S by M. But here as examiner will give you the stiffness of the system for transverse vibrations, then on the case you have to apply the value of S. If it is not given, then you have to use under root of G by delta, because we can calculate the value of delta. Delta is nothing but the reflection of the shaft. This is the deflection of the shaft, like that. This is the deflection. Okay. Delta is a WL cube upon 3A. This is the formula you will study in the strength of material in detail. And where W is the load at the end of the shaft, that is the weight of the rotor. We just have to put all these values and we'll get the answer. Since in the examinations you will see there is a virtual calculator, so there will be chances of error in calculations. You can see here you have to put the value of I. So to minimize the error, to prevent the possibility for error, you can calculate each and every term separately. That means you can calculate mg separately, then I separately, and you just have to multiply and divide one by one. Okay, don't make any mistake. Don't if the questions would take 1 to 2 minutes, okay, you can give 3 minutes, but at least to solve the questions correctly. It doesn't matter if it is a little bit more time you are giving in the question. I know the less time is there in the examination for the paper, but I want the questions to be correct. Okay, because if you are putting some effort for solving the questions, if you are providing 3 minutes or 4 minutes, so I'm not saying that you will have to mistake in the calculations for 50-second saving, like that. So solve the questions carefully. Don't make any mistake. Okay, you can solve this type of question at the end of the paper. That means you can solve the questions, you can solve all the papers, whatever be the questions you know very well. Okay, you can solve them first, then these type of questions in which there are lots of calculations there, you can solve these type of questions at the end. So I hope you will understand the transverse vibration, the longitudinal vibration. Oh, thank you.